So to give you an idea of scale, this is what that flower looks like. And this is where the painting ended up. Sweet little thing. So as I understand it, in the plant world, there are two, actually maybe three different kinds of plants, and you can tell by whether they're webbed leaves or sort of straight leaves, veins going straight down the leaf, sort of like palm trees and stuff. And so this is my way of doing webbed leaves. I'm not sure it's totally scientific in terms of how the webs are, but it gives the idea, and this show is, after all, my interpretation, so that gives me some freedom. So I've wet down, so each one of these I painted with the idea that the light was coming from this direction, right? But it's now still very flat. So what I'm going to do is unflatten it. And the predominant colors that I've been using on this painting are ultramarine blue and sort of this coarse green gold. So I'm going to use a pretty big moppy brush and put the green gold on the sun side and just go straight over it. And what's so cool about watercolor is that if you use transparent paint, sorry, it's so hard to paint and think at the same time. I'm not sure. Anyway, so the sunny side, warm side is over here. And then I'm going to, where the leaf curves, I will put some ultramarine blue, and I don't have to be that careful about it. Let the watercolor do its thing. I may bring some of this blue down in here. And then back to the yellow. It's actually coarse green gold. And I see that it's still kind of flat, so I'm gonna fool around with that again. But you know, all I have to do is just let this dry, and I can put as many layers on here as I want, just to give it some form, right? So this, I think I'm going to put some real thick paint right there. Whoa, that might be a little bit too much. Let's see what happens here. In watercolor, I always wondered why teachers would say, well, let's see what happens here. Because I'm thinking, well, don't they already know because they're teaching? Well, no, you don't always know. Okay, I'm not sure I love that, but I can fix that by just putting in a little bit of this green and let that. So I'm going to come back in and do that same technique that I did earlier, where I make each one of these a little bit more distinct. But this part here needs to be way dark. So let's just cover all that up. And because it's transparent, it doesn't cover it all up. Okay, and I want to lighten that. And one nice thing about 100% cotton paper is I twirl it and then just lay it in, and it lightens that area up right on that edge. I'll come back in, I think, on the next pass and make that a little bit darker. I'm going to be playing with this a little bit. But you can see where this leaf now is a lot more mottled than this one. Then after this is dry, if I think it needs a little bit more work, whoop, wrong brush, I will go back in with the same method, right? Wet the whole thing and then just drop some serious paint in the shadow area of the leaf. So this one looks like it's creeping up a little bit. So let's just control that just a little bit. Make it a little darker in here. I really like the way this ends up looking when it's done. Okay, so I think that's gonna do it for today.